Junkie Nation, what's going on? We're back. Gorgeous George and Goes, always delivering the big names here in the sport of mixed martial arts. Today we get to talk to Mario Bautista, who's got a big fight coming up at UFC 292 in Boston in August the 19th to be exact. His opponent, Cody Garbrandt. Mario, how you doing, my man?
I'm doing pretty good, thank you.
Awesome. Well, look, we're excited to talk to you. And like I told you before the interview, I want to start off with an apology. Bro, you've been in the UFC for a minute now. Like, we're getting close to 10 fights. You got an impressive record, 12-2 overall. You have an 83, almost 84% finishing rate, which is really, really great, honestly, especially for the lower class, the lower weight classes, which sometimes, you guys just don't have as high of a finishing rate, especially when it comes to knockouts as the heavyweights. But you're getting down. You're going out there, you're finishing, and you're on a card that's got a big spotlight on it for this division. So anyway, how we haven't chatted with you more often, that's our bad. The world needs to know a little bit more about you, man. Seriously, do you feel the same way? Like maybe you've been overlooked?
In a way, but I don't mind it too much. I've been kind of flying under the radar, and that's fine. But yeah, now I get the opportunity to really showcase my skills and have like a good card to be on for everyone to see.
Mm-hmm.
I'll co-sign. I'll give us a yellow card. We deserve it. You're right.
Exactly. You face some really, really good, talented opposition, along the way while getting these finishes. Of course, Cody being a former champion and having such a huge name, I think this could be the big, welcome to the dance, if you will. But at the same time, hey, it gets tougher, right? The opposition gets tougher. We know this guy can wrestle. We know this guy's got hands. We know he's got experience. Tell me though, how can you communicate to us that you're not going to be overwhelmed by the moment facing a big name like Cody Garbrandt?
Oh, it's just another fight, that's all it is to me. He's had some, ups and downs lately. So I'm looking to capitalize on that. And like I said, I'm not putting too much pressure on myself. Like I said, it's just another fight to me, and he's someone that can be beat and that has been beat before. So all I can do is just work as hard as I can, and roll the dice out there just like I do any other time, and it usually works out pretty good for me.
Are you along as far as you would want? You're at a key number in your age. You're at 30 years old. You're 12-2 overall. Like I said, you're getting close to your 10th fight in the UFC. Are you about where you would want to be at this point?
Oh yeah, definitely. I still got, a few more years, and I started out kind of late, so I don't really have the mileage that most people would at this age, So yeah, I feel like I'm exactly where I need to be, and primed out, ready to keep on cutting through this division.
I got one more question for you before I turn it over to Goes here. On your Tapology, which again I was looking over top to bottom, we see a younger Mario Bautista there. You got a shorter haircut. You looked, like the guy you just described, the guy that just started out, an innocent look to you. And then there's this young kid behind you who almost looks like he could be like your little brother or something. Like I'm not sure why he would be in that cage at that moment. Looks like an LFA fight. You know what I'm talking about?
I would have to see the picture. Yeah, I'm not too sure. Was he Mexican like me?
It looked like it, yeah. And he's got this look, either like, damn, that's my bro, he's a badass, or you just kicked his brother's ass and he's looking at you going, man, if he sticks around long enough and I get older, I'm going to take it to him.
Oh man, well, let's hope it's not that one. I don't want to see no youngster coming for me. But I'll have to check that picture out for sure.
Was there anyone when you started off that, that we always see these pictures of fighters going to events as young guys and then pulling a fighter aside and taking a picture, and then years later, now you're doing what they do. But is there a fighter that same thing like that just kind of moved you and you said, man, I want to follow in this guy's footsteps or do what he's doing?
I never met anyone personally. It's always been in the gym. Someone I've looked up to, coming to the gym was Benson Henderson at the MMA Lab. just seeing how hard that guy's worked. So that's definitely someone I follow. But honestly, the first UFC I went to was my debut. I've never been to a UFC before then. So that was my first time.
Oh wow. Okay.
All these finishes that you get, in a row, the way you've done it, the pacing that you keep in a fight, is that from fight to fight, or is it just guaranteed Mario Bautista keeps this pace no matter who the opponent is?
Honestly, I've had a little bit more confidence lately. I think ever since the Brian Kelleher fight, and it's just been through my training. I've gotten better in the gym, and that's just years of hard work and feeling comfortable and getting the experience. I got into the UFC at 6-0. I think I turned pro, and within 18 months, I was already in the UFC. So it went by pretty fast. So I've definitely grown up in the UFC a lot. And, getting these finishes, I've just gotten more and more confident, each fight.
You were able to ask for this fight particular in your post-fight speech. You said this is what you wanted and this is what you got. Can you maybe talk a little bit about the process of how that came about? Did the matchmakers tell you, hey, good call on this one? Were you surprised to hear you got basically exactly what you wanted?
In a way, because I'm a pretty quiet guy. I didn't get on the mic and, hey, Connor, you're taking everything I worked for, blah, blah, blah. So a little bit I was surprised, but, my record speaks for itself in my performances. So that's all I'm riding on, I'm not the best on the mic. So I have to let these performances speak for themselves and earn it the way I think I should, through my performances and through hard work.
Now, if this goes your way and it's the fight that we all think it's going to be, I don't see why you can't call the next shot. You might not share it with us now, but do you have that name on the tip of your tongue? Do you kind of already forecast a little bit?
Not so much names. I definitely want a top 15 for sure, or at the edge of the top 10, depending on the performance that I have. So, you could call out someone in the top 15 and then them fight a month from now and then get kicked out of the top 15. And now I just called out someone that's not ranked. So I just want a number afterwards. I want to be in the rankings and get the ball rolling and start cutting through that.
So if other fighters are watching this interview, can you look them in the eye and go, hey guys, it paid off for me to attach myself to a name in my previous post fight, because that's what we're always encouraging fighters to do. Sometimes fighters just don't want to do it, but to me, it's a no-brainer. It kind of gets the wheels in motion, and this is a sport where you kind of just have to be a little selfish and think about yourself.
Yeah, definitely. I think like the higher you climb, the more it makes sense to call out people. But if you debut and you call out, someone in the top 15, and if it doesn't make sense, it has to come out genuine. And
right.
and that's what I try to do, even though it was kind of like a soft call out. It's just the way I am. It's not in my nature, but if you call me out, I'm fighting you for sure. And if you talk shit to me, I'm gonna talk shit back. But I'm never gonna be the one to start it.
Geez, good thing I started off with an apology, man. This guy means business. Did you hear that? He sounds like he could be a money collector. Which one I'm getting tired of though is 50 G's, baby. How about you guys? Like I they say you're not supposed to ask for it because the matchmakers are like, this guy or gal. But I've heard it a lot lately, and I get it. Look, the biggest name our sport's ever seen, McGregor, he put it on the map. I think I've heard it now about 100 times. And so now I'm officially want to retire that. How about you, Mario? Do you like that one, or do you have a way to hint at like, hey, I wouldn't mind getting that bonus later on, Dana?
Yeah, I don't like when they call out for the bonuses. If you have a good performance and you deserve it, you're gonna get it no matter what. Like you should just let it happen. If you're gonna get it, you get it. That's fine. But I would never ask for it. I've seen guys ask for it, saying on their debuts, oh, I need these 50 G's so I can quit my job. And dude, I quit my job on a loss, and I went home with like $6,000 and I quit my job and I put it all on the line and, it's paid off for me. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of when they 50 G's, baby. Yeah, I'm not with it.
Where did you used to work?
I worked for Safeway Auto Glass, a glass company, changing out windshields here in Phoenix, out of all places. During the summers, just
Give me a
it
story.
was.
Give me a story. It's 120 degrees, and you gotta mount that down. I just had that done about 3 months ago. It's about 118, 120. You're mounting it. The guy's probably telling you, "Hey, man, you're gonna take long." Did you almost just throw down right then and there? You have a good story?
Oh no, I mean, I've always remained professional, but man, when I get off work, I'm just like, damn, I do not want to do this for the rest of my life. I got to make something happen. So yeah, no crazy stories, just your usual customer, nagging customer here and there, touching hot glass, the usual thing.
You ever drop one?
I haven't dropped one. I think holding one in the heat, that glass flexes pretty easily. So
Does it?
I've definitely broke. Oh yeah, it'll flex a little bit more during this heat. So you got to be
Ooh.
super careful. You take out customer's windshield, you're gonna put in the new one, cracks. Now you got to go
Well, hold on,
40-minute
that's the story.
drive.
So that's the story. Tell us, did that happen to you?
Oh, plenty of times. You go out to a job, that glass cracks. You call your manager. Oh, okay, well, we don't have anyone. You're gonna have to go pick it up. You got to explain to the customer. You got to head back to the warehouse. Come back, adds an hour extra to your day, and then you got to call the remaining customers. Hey, I'm gonna be an hour late. Next customer. Hey, I'm gonna be an hour late, and you just pray that they don't. They're not pissed off.
Have you ever had back-to-back ones break on you?
I'm laughing my ass off.
Oh my god! If it was back to back, I would probably call in. I'd be like, hey,
I'm done.
I'm done. You guys can come pick up the truck right now.
Hey, so I found this picture George is talking about. I don't know if you could see it.
Oh, I have no, that dude, I have no clue who that is. He's coming for me though.
He's coming for you, dude. Yeah, you either kicked his brother's ass, or maybe something in the post fight. You said, like, maybe I don't know where that fight was, but let's say you said shout out to Phoenix, and he's from Tucson. You know what I mean? But he's got a look on him, doesn't he?
He is haunting, dude.
Yeah, that's gonna be one of those pictures later on. Hey, you remember this? I'm coming for you.
What's up
probably
now,
beat
partner?
my ass too.
You're the guy that was supposed to put. I was supposed to go on a field trip, and the windshield broke, and then you showed up and bent the damn thing, and I didn't get to go on the field trip. Oh, because of you. No, I'm just kidding. But tell me, you know what? When you did that, when you held the glass and bent, did the customer kind of go, "Oh, bitch," because he knew, like, oh, this thing's delayed? Like, could you tell he was pissed? That's what I would have done.
No, sometimes you could tell. You could tell, like, they get pissed, and some of them will tell you straight up, and then the thing about it is some of it is based on reviews. Your pay is based on reviews and surveys.
Yeah.
So
you got to stay cool then. You got to stay cool.
Yeah, remain calm. But sometimes, like, you get that review and it's a detractor, and now you got that, and then, your pay reflects it. So I definitely don't miss that job. That's for sure.
Safe flight repair, safe flight replace. Are you tired of hearing that?
Dude, hurt my brain.
I just thought of something. So when you're taking out that windshield to put it on, that means the other one's already off. So if that guy can't come bail you off, you have to put the other one back on, right? And then go?
Oh, man. You can't put the old one back in.
So you just leave them with no windshield?
No windshield. You got to, hopefully they have a garage somewhere, or maybe they could watch it for a little bit while you take off. But so when you pull the windshield out and you lay that fresh glue, and you're going to go lay in that windshield, it cracks. So now, not only do you have to.
Uh-oh. You still there, Mario?
Safe like that kid got him.
There he is.
Oh, sorry, guys.
It's okay.
That kid got you.
Oh, yeah. No, like I was saying, like, once you take out that windshield and you lay that fresh glue, you got to go get the new glass, and you got to come back. And that glue is wet, and you get it on anything, your clothes, the customer's vehicle, it does not come off. So you got to deal with that too. You got to scrape it off and restart the whole process again.
Holy cow. Okay, this is more complicated than I thought. My guy kind of made it look easy, but I'll tell you a funny story. He showed up and he goes, "Oh, it's the wrong one. You have a Kia Niro something?" And I go, "Yeah, but wrong year, wrong model. I don't know what." He goes, "You're not going to believe this." And I kind of went, bitch. Like I said it to myself, but I was like, oh, bitch. Like, because you set the time aside, you're waiting. It was a hot day, you know, and he came and messed it up. And then I think we had to like wait a few more days before we got the right one in. But man, this thing, had he taken mine off, you know, and then I'm sitting there with no windshield. Woo-wee.
Oh yeah. No, when I get there, I look at the windshield, make sure there's the right sensors, because you got to check that.
Yeah.
You got to make sure everything goes back. Make sure, you know, same size, you know, same, you know, curve before I even pull that thing out. So that's a rookie one.
Let me ask you another one here, because I was reading about the top athletes, the richest athletes, right? And there's a couple guys who have stories. Like, I think there was a guy named Antoine Walker, and I'm thinking, yeah, he did sign one big contract. He was an NBA player. He was kind of a little overweight and stuff, but he could ball. But apparently he's like close to being a billionaire or something like that. And what happened was he wound up buying a lot of fast food restaurants, because he went to fast food, but somehow he had this business acumen. And next thing you know, he's one of those guys that owns 80 Chick-fil-A's or something like that, right? And I wanted to ask you, Safe Flight, whatever it's called. Would you ever go back and buy a franchise of it? Like, can you say it's a successful business? Are you ever motivated like that? Like something you've done, you'd like to go back, but on a grander scale? I guess that's what I'm asking.
That's definitely doable. You know, I wouldn't mind that. The only thing that I did not like about that job was working here in Phoenix because of the summers. You know, other than that, that job was easy. You know, and you could make, you know, pretty good money, especially if you own the actual business. If you're self-employed, you can make, you know, easy money. And like I said, but the only thing that sucked about it was just being here in Phoenix and the summers, I would say. And then on top of that, trying to make it in MMA, trying to make it to the UFC. So if it was your only focus, easy money.
All right. I like it. I like this guy, Ghost. Got to get him on more often, man. I've been telling people the whole last 2 months, hey, dude, Sterling versus OMalley, and we got Font versus Yadong before the whole, you know, switcheroo. And we got Cejudo and bantamweights, and I wasn't giving you any love, man. Somehow I was getting to a certain point of the card, and then I would circle back to talking to the fighter. We got to talk about Bautista and Garbrandt. They're on this card as well, folks. I love it, again, when the champ defends, and then there's a few matchups in the same division, because there's a spotlight on the division, and I think that's where just stuff can happen. You never know, Mario. I mean, I've seen crazier things. I would honestly weigh in at 135 instead of 136. You just never know what might happen. Now, I believe Homie's your teammate, right? OMalley? Yeah, so we're not wishing that on him, but I forget which one it was. It was the one with Khabib, and he was supposed to fight first Holloway, and then Iaquinta, and then Felder weighed in, but I forget. It was a mess. But crazier things have happened. But you know, the nice thing is you're on the same timeline as the champ. You know, and like I said, there's a big spotlight on it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you remember Joe Soto was making his debut, and someone was gonna fight TJ. I forgot who dropped out of the TJ fight for the title fight, and they gave the title fight to Joe Soto on his debut. So yeah, I've seen crazy things like that happen before.
That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, that's awesome that you remember that. I'm gonna look it up. I know Soto did step in. I just can't remember for who. All right, last question for me. I know Ghost probably might have some more, but Fight Ready and Fight Lab, are you guys in any way like now they're called Kill Cliff and ATT, or like respect, but there's a rivalry?
Oh, there's definitely a rivalry between us, you know, especially through through our local guys, for sure. Because I fought some guys from over there, or one guy actually, and yeah, we don't like losing to those guys, you know, and I don't remember the last time we've lost to them. So it's definitely a local rivalry we have here.
Because see, I heard those guys won't really cross train back and forth. But here in Vegas, the Syndicate and the Extreme Couture guys, it doesn't happen often, but I've seen them go back and forth, a few of the athletes. So it doesn't seem to be like that type of rivalry. But you're saying over here that's not really happening between you guys?
No, we've had some guys like leave our gym and head over there. But we have a team here. We're here for each other. Like if someone's if Marcus McGee's getting ready for a fight, I want to be there helping him out. I don't want him leaving, going to another gym, getting hurt or something over there, and then making his own schedule or whatever. We're all in the same schedule. We're all have the same goal. So if you're not a part of it, it doesn't really help us.
Mm-hmm. How is it between you and O'Malley? I know you got to be cheering for your teammate against the champ on the same night that you fight, but at the same time, you're going to get the question. I'm not going to ask you, would you fight? I'm not going to do that. I just want to know, how is it like cheering for him, wanting him to chase and get his dream, but knowing you're either a couple of years or a certain set amount of fights from wanting to be in the same spot? Like, does that mess with you at all, or do you just let life, the world revolve, and just it happens the way it happens?
No, exactly like that. Whatever happens, happens. But I'm rooting for O'Malley. I think it was about 10 years ago. I showed up to the gym, and then Sean showed up a month later, and just watching him grow and have all this success. Like, I wish him nothing but the best. And he's a really good friend of mine. I've done so many rounds for him, like sparred with him to help him get ready for these fights. So I want him to win, and I definitely think he can this one.
Man, that's outstanding to hear that. The camaraderie between you guys and you guys being on that same timeline. So just a month apart you showed up, huh?
Oh yeah, a month apart.
Yeah.
And then I think a month later, Kyler Phillips showed up too. So
Oh, he's cool.
we actually,
I like him too.
we have an old photo of us. Like, I think we were all still amateurs. I took a picture of us, all young kids, just getting beat up by the pros back then. So it's cool to see how far we've come together.
Yeah. The last thing that enters my mind here, because honestly, you're a pretty cool cat to talk to. Hopefully we didn't take up more time than we requested. When Izzy was fighting Cannonier, he had a lot of respect for Crouch in your gym. What did that feel like to hear that from one of the best out there? And not that you need that type of reinforcement, but I think it's pretty cool. You know what I mean? To kind of hear that, to know that the general in that gym is respected by a warrior, a gladiator from who competes at a high level, because he knows there's some knowledge on both sides. So, do you remember that?
Yeah, and I think a lot of people respect the gym. I think we've been doing it for about, I think 17 years now. Coach has been there, so we've had guys like Benson, Henderson, who's gotten that UFC belt, defended it, and has done amazing things. And we have LFA belts and everything. So it was pretty cool to hear Adesanya, talk good about our gym. Real recognizes real, and yeah, that's pretty awesome.
All right, goes.
Last thing from me, man. Like, if you were to kind of anticipate the future, what would you say if we were to have this conversation a year from now? What would we be talking about?
Ooh, we'd be talking about who I'm fighting in the top 5 for sure, and what fights will lead me to the title. I think by next year, definitely.
I love it. All right, Mario. Thanks for the time. We hope to do this again more often with you. You seriously really do communicate yourself great, man, as a professional fighter. So many fighters lay an egg when we talk to them, and we're like, not that we tune out, we have to do our jobs, but you know what I'm saying? Because I know what jumps off the page as well to our readers, to our listeners. I hope you gain a ton of fans here, not just from this interview, other interviews, but the fight itself that's headed your way. So again, thank you for your time today, and good luck with everything.
Awesome, guys. Thank you. I appreciate it.